Well, that was pretty prompt, right about the time that Chairman Grassley said that they would break. I want to bring on Kerri Urbahn, Fox News legal editor, and Jonathan Turley, Fox News contributor and George Washington University law professor. We have been watching a couple of hours of this confirmation hearing for the United States position of Attorney General with Pam Bondi, and there were times when it got pretty chippy. I'm Harris Faulkner. I've just introduced my guest. Let's jump right in. So, Jonathan, what stood out to you in terms of what she would face critically?
Well, she's done extraordinarily well. I don't think they've landed a glove on her so far. She's been very tight in her answers, and she's kept her demeanor and control, even in the face of some pretty insulting questions. There is an otherworldly aspect to this. You have Democrats that supported the weaponization of the legal system against Trump, suddenly saying, in the name of God, tell us you won't be targeting political opponents. And I think that Senator Cruz brought that up, as did some of his colleagues, and said, you seem to be ignoring what we just went through. But in this case, Bondi has made clear that she has no intention of doing that. They pressed her on this enemies list that nobody has seen. What is most interesting is they're sort of turning this into a hearing for Patel. That is, they keep on trying to get her to speak against. Yeah, they keep on trying to get her to do some work against Patel.
I want to get to something, and perhaps this is kind of touching on what you mean. The back and forth between Democrat Senator Dick Blumenthal and Pam Bondi. Watch this.
I have to say also, really troubled, deeply disturbed by some of your responses and non-responses to the question that you've been asked today. You have to be able to say that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. You dodged that question when you were asked directly by Senator Durbin. You have to be able to say that January 6th insurrectionists who committed violence shouldn't be pardoned.
You said that I have to sit up here and say these things. No, I don't. I sit up here and speak the truth. I'm not going to sit up here and say anything that I need to say to get confirmed by this body. I don't have to say anything. I will answer the questions to the best of my ability.
No flinching there, Kerri.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Pam Bondi is knocking it out of the park. And I think a large reason for that is not just because she's handled, as she said, thousands of cases, handled hundreds of jury trials. It's because she was state attorney general in Florida for 8 years. And the reason that's important is because being an attorney general is a unique mixture of law and politics. Now, people don't like that. They think, well, politics shouldn't be involved. Well, that's not reality. When you're an attorney general, yes, you even-handedly and neutrally apply the law, but you are responsible for implementing the president's or the governor's political agenda. And where I saw that really come out was when one of the senators asked her, well, what if career prosecutors, and this is always the question they ask, what if career prosecutors came to you with a case and the White House directed you otherwise? And she gave a standard answer that AGs and deputy AGs and U.S. attorneys give, but she added a caveat, and she said, I will follow the facts and the law, and this is the key, with good faith. The reason she added good faith is because we have seen how the justice system has been manipulated against Donald Trump since he became the nominee in 2016. And unfortunately, we often saw that driven by career officials. There's this silly belief out there that's not founded, again, in reality, that career officials are immune from political persuasion. And that's just not the case. They're human beings like everyone else, and sometimes those politics drive what they do, which is why Pam Bondi said when she is AG, she will look at everything, but she's actually going to apply the law in good faith.
Look, I thought it stood out when, there was a point of question, how many people did you lead? And she said, 400. I mean, because we saw Democrats yesterday with Pete Hegseth, they were like head counting to see if you can handle the kind of broadening from a local level to a national level of people that you would oversee. Well, nothing can compete with the national federal government in terms of how many people you'd oversee, but 400 are a lot. Look, we have 6 of these today. 5 simultaneously going on right now, confirmation hearings. Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, John Radcliffe, CIA Director, Sean Duffy. I think we're going to take a look at the big wall now, Secretary of Transportation, Chris Wright, Secretary of Energy, and Russell Vought, Director of Office of Management and Budget. So this, Management and Budget, yes. So this is all going on right now. We're all over them as they happen.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.